Alright, Travis Wayne Goodsell. As I'm going to be posting my 2-hour, 40-minute, or is it, how long is it? I think it's 2 hours and 40 minutes. Again, I can check. I thought it was necessary to do a pre-show for you and talk about the New Israelites of Vermont in the 1800s and the wood scrape that occurred, as it's been named. Excuse me. Day of the Lord, that's the one. Oh my goodness. Yeah, 2 hours, 37 minutes, 10 seconds. It's 5 gigs, so I can put it on academia.edu as well. This is that important. I don't have a document for it, as was my original intention of doing videos on academia.edu, is to have a document to accompany it. But we're down to a week away. And so, the New Israelites were Congregationalists. This was the organization that Joseph Smith Sr. and William Cowdery, the father of Oliver Cowdery, attended. Now, the Wikipedia page says, under possible connection to Mormonism, so you have to actually find this site. You're not going to find it under Joseph Smith Sr. The church doesn't want you to know about this. So you have to know about the New Israelites. And the Vermont is New Israelites. So if you type in New Israelites Vermont, Wikipedia, it'll come up for you. There's another New Israelites, not the same. You won't find Joseph Smith Sr. in it. They say he is a possible member, may have included. No. Again, these guys have no clue about the religion that they were typing into this thing. The only way to become a member in Congregationalist churches is to, 1, be an adult. You can't be 8 years of age. You have to be an adult. 2, you have to desire to be a member. You have to have that inner conversion. Yes, I desire to be a part of this organization. And 3, you have to be voted in by the members of the congregation. Joseph Smith Sr. was not a member, but he attended their several meetings as occasion would permit, or however Junior worded it. And he was talking about Freemason meetings, not religion. And he was attending with his dad, because he didn't want to go with Hiram, his brother. Dad's the master mason. Why would I want to go with Hiram? And so I can go in, I have done videos on this, but I'm not going to go into the whole religion and practices and the Jewish mysticism of the New Israelites. The thing I want to point out, as I want to make this quick as possible, is that under history, the 3rd paragraph, on 14 January 1802, oh, whoops, nope, I need to go to the 2nd paragraph. They claim that there was a counterfeiting operation in the process. No. Joseph Smith Sr. had a coopersmith shop on his farm. A coopersmith shop is where you make barrels. to store food, gunpowder. If you saw National Treasure, they were opening up the barrels looking for the treasure in Charlotte. The treasure lies with Charlotte. And those barrels had metal. I don't think they were wood, all wood. They could have been. I'd have to go back and look at them closely. They were kind of frozen over. But for gunpowder, it's best to use copper for the bands holding the wood in place for the barrel. Joseph Smith knew how to make barrels, Sr. And knew how to forge copper. See, forgery is different than forge. And when you understand that they were learning how to forge, people hear that and use the other definition. Oh, they were trying to counterfeit, make objects to fraud people. So this is how easy things can get out of hand when you don't stop and think. Joseph Smith knew how to forge. He had to learn that from somewhere. The New Israelites was involved in forging metals. After all, he's a smith from the family line. It's just plain smith, so it's a smith of all trades, of all metals. But you can have a coppersmith, a blacksmith, a goldsmith, silversmith, etc. So don't get confused when people are confusing you. Okay. Then the final sentence in the second paragraph. Wood predicted the arrival of a destroying angel, the end of the world, on 14 January 1802. That would bring down plagues, Exodus, and the four horsemen of the apocalypse, because this was part of their religion, and earthquakes upon the Gentiles. His prophecy was for 14 January 1802. I believe that was the year Hiram was born. You can fact check me. Alvin was most likely what's it called? I'm one. Honeymoon baby. On 14 January 1802, the day Wood said would be the commencement of the apocalypse. As the sect gathered together to await the arrival of the destroying angel, and so this may be only for members, but at least Joseph Smith Sr. knew of this, as did William Cowdery as well, because of how it ended. It's like you show up to my local stake center on Sunday to attend church and the building's closed. And there's a sign out front that said closed forever. Wouldn't that be nice? But the locals, and it was right next to another town and not too far away from where the Cowderys lived, were alarmed, obviously, that on the night in question, you notice this, like a thief in the night, the militia was called out. The militia then fired their weapons to disperse the fraternity of rodsmen, of whom Senior is considered a master rodsman. This event was subsequently known as the Wood Scrape. After the Wood Scrape, Wood and his family moved to Ellisburg, New York, and the sect became extinct. And then you've probably heard about View of the Hebrews. Well, that's Ethan Smith, who, after the Smiths had moved away to Palmyra, moved in to the town next door where there was already the Congregationalist church that the Cowdreys and Smiths had been attending. And that's when he took over the congregation, and that's when he then wrote View of the Hebrews. So the Cowdreys knew of the book, but there is no computer linguistic tie in the Book of Mormon. It's just the Congregationalist belief system, and thus Smith and Cowdrey knew of that belief system because they attended the several meetings as often as occasion would permit. And so, with the video tomorrow, I'm going to do a spoiler alert using Gematria of the New Israelites. There is confirmation of the date of the apocalypse. We're in the latter days. I've told you this. It's confirmed. It's already begun. Exactly as the Book of Mormon tells us. Remember this. Joseph Smith Sr. was involved with one of hundreds of failed prophets who predicted the apocalypse. And here he is again, taking over the responsibility of writing the Book of Mormon and getting it written and published, with a warning to a future generation long after he's dead. He was willing to sacrifice his life. There were people looking for those responsible for the cause of the anti-Mason movement. They wanted blood. They wanted silence. They wanted those documents, those manuscript pages. And yet the Book of Mormon got published. And here Joseph Smith Sr. is giving us a precise date, and taught it to his son, who he had take over an organization to perpetuate the book. So think about that before watching the video that I'll try to get put up tomorrow. It's going to be long, take all day, there's 3 places to put it. So, and this already went too long.